myself. I'm the General Manager of my solar agency. Welcome everyone here today. Taylor's Lane project is developed by BMV Property Group, and as well as Claire Development, and as well as Taurus Group. So let me introduce Ian from Claire to introduce all our development teams. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming here today. I hope I'm speaking clearly and you can all hear me at the back there. My name's Ian Hashman. I'm from Claire Developments. My partners in this project, as Tim has just said, I'm very proud to have as partners Jinyu, who are a big industrial group from China, and as well as BMV Developments. So if I can just tell you a little bit about Claire Lee. Claire Lee's been developing on the lower North Shore for about the last 25 years, mainly specialising in upmarket boutique developments, where we have attention to high finishes and high quality. I think I've been doing developments mainly the North Shore. I've done developments in McMahon's Point, Cremorne, Mossman, and for a short while there I was doing a 10-storey development in Gosford during the financial crisis of 2008, which turned out to be very frightening. And after that I decided it's usually best to stick to quality projects in quality suburbs in the lower North Shore. So that's what I've been doing more recently. Over this time I've seen many changes, and as you can tell from my grey hair, I've been around a long time. And thank you, I'll pay you later. And so everyone thinks that the properties are so easy and you just get into it, but in my time I've seen the great crash of 1987. I saw the recession that Paul Keating said we had to have in the early 90s. I saw the Asian meltdown. I saw the dot-com bubble. I saw all sorts of things, and I saw the 2008 crash. And one thing I learned from all that experience is that if you want to be successful, then make sure that you are always giving quality, offering people value. And if you give people value, then you, as a developer, is your best way of making sure that you have a good project and you actually have a successful business. So I think that philosophy also goes for my partners who have experienced a number of ups and downs. So I think this is what we are building our business model around. I'm very proud to have as a partner BMV Developments. This is BMV's offices that we're in over here. You can see a lot of the work that BMV is doing and the models that are surrounding in that other room. And BMV and I have been working very successfully for the past 5 years. We did a very successful development in Mossman, which I think has been a great credit to us. We've learned a lot through that process, and it's our intention to apply as much as we can to this development over here, which again will be the best one that we've done so far. BMV is successfully doing developments in its own name in St Leonard's particularly, and I think hopefully we will be in partnership for a long time to come. The third partner in our development is Jinyu, and we have representatives from Jinyu over here. I would say that most of you have never heard of Jinyu Developments because Jinyu is very much the quiet achiever. It's been in Australia for a long time and it's slowly building a base over here, and I think Jinyu is going to be here for the long term, but certainly in China they're very well known. They're from Henan province. They're a big industrial conglomerate. They have more than 4,000 employees. We get on well with the owner of Jinyu, Mr. Wang, who's a very, very rich businessman over there. His balance sheet has got more zeros in his balance sheet than I can put into my personal calculator. And I think he also is very interested in this development here as a means of understanding how it will work out. So Jinyu, I think, shares our view that this will be a successful development for all of us. And to do that, we also want it to be successful for all the people involved in it, particularly the community and the buyers. So I should now hand you back to our Master of Ceremonies, Tim.
Thank you. Thanks Ian for the wonderful speech just now to introduce our development teams. Yes, as you can see, he's very experienced and handsome. So, any questions later if you're having for the development teams, feel free to ask Ian or me later. Today we have people from Westpac. They are the home loan specialists today. If you guys have any finance questions regarding our banking, feel free to consult them. As well as we have this solicitor Julia here. If you guys have any legal questions about anything that you need to consult, Julia is here to help you guys out. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's start the launching with the unveiling of the ceremony. Let's do it. I'll count it down, okay? So, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Taylor's Land launch. Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, thanks everyone. Everyone just enjoy the food. We prepare the food and drinks. So, if you guys have any questions about the development, look at the model. You have more ideas about the developments. Thank you very much everyone. I'll speak to you guys soon. Ladies and gentlemen, now before we express our congratulations to the reserve units, I'll let Ian, the handsome guy Ian, do the speech about the project first. Thank you.
So I just want to make some general comments about how we feel about this project as developers and what attracted us to this particular development, and draw some features to it. And I must say that what I find particularly appealing is the very strong location over here. And from my point of view, when I discovered that this site was no more than 200 meters from the Longueville Hotel, I thought this has got to be a winner. That has got to be a draw card. You can drink there and just crawl home if you need. But there's a walkway over the top, so you can do that very safely too. So I'm not going to keep on telling you on and on, because I'm sure the other gentlemen here have told you about some of the features of the site over here. The fact that it's got a bus interchange within 200 meters, and you get to the city on an express bus. If you're driving out of the back, then 2 traffic lights and you're back into the city, and so on. I think that has all been fairly well expressed, and I think you know all about Lane Cove already with its restaurants and its growing number of shops over there. But what you may not know is that, and somebody asked me this question just a minute ago, there's a big car park behind the Lane Cove shops, and that is being redeveloped at the moment. And the question was, are they going to be putting apartments there? And the answer is no. This belongs to the council. The council is knocked the car park down. It'll be putting 2 levels of car parking basically underground, and then that area is going to be landscaped. And there'll just be new shops and cafes and restaurants coming onto that landscape area. So that's interesting. It makes that shopping area even more appealing and more attractive. I think Lane Cove is definitely going to be growing quite rapidly in the next little while. I think rather than talk about the merits of the area, what I'd talk about is that the approach that we've taken to the development is for the architects to orient the building away from Longueville Road. So if you're on this side in the Lane Cove village and you want north aspects, then you're looking onto Longueville Road to get sun coming in. But most of our apartments are facing away. They face into the northern aspects. They've got nice views coming on the top over there, and there are relatively few units facing over here. The majority of them face the other way. Colors and finishes are very important over here, and we've spent a lot of time with a very good designer, Edward Wong. He's a well-known designer in Sydney, trying to get a product over here that is going to be typically lower North Shore, and that it's got a nice conservative neutral feel, but at the same time, if you can see from the CGIs, we've been looking at the Caesar stone finishes and the edges and the details over here. So what we have is hopefully a sophisticated contemporary development that's still going to be quite edgy over here. We've been working with the architects quite carefully to make sure that we get light, airy buildings inside. And I know these architects particularly well because I've worked with them for 20 years, and I've lived in apartments that they've built for me for a long period of time. So I know what the feel of these apartments is, and in fact I live in a top-story apartment in Mossman that I mentioned before that we developed. It's a penthouse, but it's certainly nice. And I'd say that if anybody here wants a feeling of what the architect's philosophy is and what his work looks like in practice, then please talk to Tim or anyone over here or me, and come down and visit me in Mossman and see what it's like yourself, and I'll be very happy to show you through. So that is also, I think it's fair to say that some of the buyers have already done it in the last couple of weeks, and I think it's fair to say that the buyers have been generally quite impressed. But I'd have to say that this development will be better than that one, because that was 4 or 5 years ago, so all the finishes and the product over here is going to be best. Now, I won't bore you with technical details on this, but just let me say in finishing that one point is that as a developer, I have very typically wanted to live in the developments that I build. I want to own as many as I can and actually live in the apartments, because it's got a number of advantages. And in this case, the developers, my partners who I mentioned, GNU and BMV, we will all want to keep as many apartments as we are comfortable with in this finished development here. So that means that if you buy in here, then there's a couple of things to remember. One is, by doing that, we believe in our product. We will maintain an ownership in this development. And secondly, if you like, it's an insurance policy for you, because there's always some concern about you build some things, the developers go away, you never see them again. But in this case, we'll be keeping an interest in here. So if you like, it's an insurance policy. The best thing we can do for you is to have a good product, because that'll also work in our favor. And we want to give you value, because in doing that, we don't care which units we end up keeping. So by giving you value, we'll give ourselves value as well. So we hope to see you in future as our neighbours. Thank you.
Thanks Ian for the great speech about our project. So the most important thing today we're having the launch is you can save up to 50k today if you purchase the units. So we have all the professional consultants here. Feel free to talk to them about any units that you're interested in. And as well as EOI phone is ready. So now I'm gonna announce the reserved units so far. Okay. Number 1, lot number 12206, reserved by overseas buyer but Australian citizen, Ho Ching Lo. Congratulations. I'm pretty sure this buyer currently is in Hong Kong at the moment. She's an Australian citizen, but she's still probably received the text message now. That we congratulate to her having the unit now. So let's jump to the next one. Lot number 28, 406 buyer, Jessica Kwang and Simon Nam. Congratulations. So before jump to the next reserve unit, if Simon wanna come upstairs, have little testimonial for us. Let's welcome him to give us a
This isn't prepared or anything, but it comes as a genuine statement through our experience through me and Jessica. We've been looking in property for about 2-3 years now, and if I had it my way, I would have bought the first property that I first stepped into 2-3 years back, and that would have been a bad financial decision. Thanks to Jess's prudential nature, we've been looking very hard, and Tim has absolutely helped with our decision making because we feel comfortable with going ahead with the process. Ticks a lot of the boxes that we've been wanting to tick for a long time but haven't been able to because we've been looking for a good property. And the process has been seamless, and I appreciate his caring nature, and it's a reflection and testament to today because I would imagine he put a lot of thought into today, and I think you guys could all agree. And again, congratulations, Tim. And yeah, thank you so much. Okay.
Really grateful to have Simon to talk about the project more. I know where your situation was and things like that. Everyone is after a home or investments and so on. So after this, I'm gonna announce a few more that coming up. Another one is 306, reserved by James Lin and Stephanie Xu. Just reserved. Thank you. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. So far, still more coming. Lot number 34, Vivian 1. So, deposit paid. Nice. Jason Han, deposit paid 2. Thank you. Okay, so let's jump to 505. Lot number 35, reserved by Ju Hua Lu. Congratulations. Kim, and there's more. Okay. Just keep clapping. Unit number 603, reserved by Ziting Jan. So, thank you very much. And there's more coming. Before announcing all the names, feel free to talk to our professional consultants or me, or the developers here. And as well as, like I mentioned before, there's bankers here, as well as the solicitors. Any questions, feel free to ask. We're all here to help you guys to decide and choose your dream home or your best investment program. Thank you very much. Thanks. So, by the way, I have an announcement of a lucky draw at probably 2:30 p.m. So feel free to have some drinks and food again. Have some refreshment. There's a toilet there if you want to use it. So I'll announce the lucky draw at 2:30. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks. Just a box, right? That's good. Okay. It's heavy. It's heavy. It's not a break. Okay. Is it a break for a developer or?
Oh, it's in the box.
Ah, it's a fully sealed iPhone X. It's real. So now let's leave the important time to Ian.
Okay.
Put the hands down. Do a lucky draw. Okay, this magic hand.
Nothing up my sleeve. Am I allowed to win it? Oh, no, I didn't put one in. Oh, okay. Oh, here we are.
Okay. Here comes the winner. All right. What's her name?
Thomas Edward. Too quick.
Thomas. Thomas Edwards. Thomas left. Too bad, Richard. Okay, the rest of us still have a chance. Alright, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go right in the bottom this time.
Alright. Okay. Jenny.
Jennifer.
H-E.
Ah.
Jenny Congratulations! Thank you. Thank you. Have a take a photo together?
Thank you.
Got it?
Lucky one.
You're never the lucky one.
No, never.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you. So people who has not decided their units yet, feel free to talk to our professional consultant and or me and ask the professional bankers and solicitors. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.